clash halfway through that. The Monty Bank coming out from Direwolves, that is typical when you're coming up against Invictus, and there's not many in now. What is Direwolves? Direwolves have absolutely no fear whatsoever. Peak has been allowed to find the first pick. Raven, it might be game on from the get-go here. Joe shuts down Pika and doubles down onto ED as well. Jeez, that is an explosive start for us.
Very Direwolves, and look, it's like I was saying, I felt like this is maybe what they might try to do here. This is what they did in Oregon. Obviously that was on defense though on Oregon, but they want to get up and aggressive. They want to try and catch iG off guard. It's generally worked quite well. This one's fallen apart, unfortunately for them. It's now this 1v3 situation with Souffle. But I like the call. Like, it worked so well for them on Oregon yesterday.
Joe.
Hasn't worked out well on round 1 here, but I think it's a... Yeah, and definitely a little harder to sustain on a map like Villa compared to Oregon. But the other thing is, you know, we didn't really see the re-aggression from iG yesterday when Direwolves were trying to do that. God. So it's great to see this nice and early. First,
Hysterics!
He's on a triple. This is unreal, Manic.
Jeez, that's a really nice trade from Souffle, though. Jackie Wu came up top main and was completely taking the attention of Hysterics. But 3 kills has pretty much sealed the deal. Jackie Wu. Shot through the wall. Luna goes down, and now in a 2v
starts to push in.
Certainly is. Jackie Wu looking to play a bit of peekaboo there, but it's inevitably Jordan that shuts that down with a quick double. Invictus are showing us that they are not just a one-hit wonder.
This nice line through to Laundry. iG just look very comfortable with their on-site positions, and Shadow's just peeking right into the line of sight. iG just steamroll Direwolves. 2 versus 5 right here. Bang. 1 versus 5, all up to Pika.
I don't think there's really much left in it for this round. He's pretty nutty, and he's done some unbelievable things in the past. He's now been given somewhat of an opportunity, but he's got 3 players to find with 30 seconds left.
It's going to be very tough for him, but he's just going to try and waste no time at all, kind of entering in through Memorials, finding another engagement in towards Laundry. Time really eroding, no diffuser and no chance. Jordan closes that one out for Invictus, and they've jumped out to that 3-0 lead.
At first here of the main stairs. I'm telling you now, someone's going to walk into that because they're just going to be trying to rush up. Jackie Wu finds Luna. Shadow manages to bounce back as well. Direwolves have brought this back all of a sudden.
Yeah, some nice vertical shots it looks like. Pika as well. He's been able to poke from behind. Joe finally fights back for Invictus to kind of keep it in check a little bit. But this has been a much better round now from Direwolves, which is quite surprising because, again, it started very strong for iG. This has all happened within the last 30 seconds, really. And they still have control of positions like 90. That's really good, even though it's a 2v3. Oh, okay. That's not so good, though, then, Mac.
That's devastating to be able to do it. He's already got 3 kills just from the second round alone, but I love that from Souffle. Sneak up.
Yeah, very hard for Direwolves. That's going to make it harder. Really great angle there from Speak Easy, and they're just falling like flies now.
This is unreal. This is the Invictus that we know and love. A flawless round played to perfection.
Might double down on their aggression. I really would not be surprised. I think it's actually a play from iG to... For that, also sticking this with Bruni again, we talked about it before. I think it's a really great counter for Direwolves' play style and what they've presented this weekend. And Jordan's been able to open the card, taking out Jackie Wu. Oh, that was a sharp shot from Hysterics. And iG, they are just looking sharp all over.
I mean, this is textbook how to adapt to a team like Direwolves. If you ever want to know what you've got
now to try and salvage something from this half.
I can see it. I can see 2 flawless rounds back to close things out here for Invictus. Direwolves have not been given a single inch. This is textbook from Invictus. Souffle will find at least one. Oh, okay. I'm not totally not believing this storyline now. A 1 versus 5. Could it happen?
I mean, it could. He doesn't have diffuser right now, so he's going to have to try and go for the picks, I think. I'm not sure he's going to really be in a good position to try and get the diffuser. This could be big, though. That's the vertical play. Triple kill on the board. 20 seconds to go. I tell you what, this could get close.
I'm starting to believe. He'll have his entrance somewhat diminished by that Sawyer gate. Souffle makes his way around the corner. The time is just ticking far too low. And boy, oh boy, are Invictus playing this one. Nice! Oh, Souffle. Wow. What a double down here, Diamonds.
Yeah, no, this is actually, that was a really important pick, actually, because they've taken off the Habana. It's the dedicated hard breacher, so that's going to make just taking 90 more difficult because they're going to have to try and do something about Vault, which they can't really do without the Habana, and I don't know, it's just got really stalled out Invictus because we're into this final minute. Sure, Joe's just found a pick onto Shadow. That's helpful. But time's starting to tick away. They've got to try and surmount around sight and make something happen. That's certainly going to help as well. Hysterics once again standing up for Invictus.
Picking apart dire wolves, as we like to say, in like a nice hot roast pork on a Sunday afternoon. There's no chance left. They are really just getting shattered here. A 2 versus 4. Needs to be converted. They've got 2 smoke babes in the hand with 20 seconds left. You know what, Raven? I'm going to say it. Souffle's going to do it if he hits this shot it was on, but no. It's all a bait. It's all a lie. 10 seconds left. The C4's off in the wrong direction. Doesn't even hit anyone. And a 1 versus 4 has to ensue, but I'm sure will be shut down.
Definitely going to be tough for ED in this instance. IG shooting hot, post-plant situation, so clock no longer in ED's favour. Poor lad hasn't hit a shot since the rehost either, apparently, and he's not going to hit another one. Invictus, they continue. I think Direwolves are going to be in for quite the surprise, but he's taken down with some pre-fire, at least traded Manic. Very chaotic little 15 seconds here as they try to go through, and there it is. Big C4 from Souffle.
It's massive from Souffle to hold on for dear life. Hysterics has now come to the limelight. Jordan's going to hit these shots. A 2 versus 2 to save the game for Direwolves. Joe and Jordan side by side. What is the opportunity? What is the call? Jordan needs to be careful. Just on the other side of Astro is awaiting ED, and it could be a detrimental ED. At that, he stepped up, but taken down by Joe. And now in a 1 versus 1, with only 10 seconds left, the Sawyer gate in front of Joe. He's just going to tank it. He's got to. Where is this last player? It's Pika over in Trophy, holding on, waiting for the opportunity with a second left. There's got to be a peek eventually. Pika comes out with the shotgun and takes Joe. Like, see if there's one little mistake. That's all it takes. It's one small weak link, and you've got yourself an opening. At the very least, it's a trade from Souffle.
Oh, good little trade, but Shadow just peeks straight up into Speakeasy. So that's going to give IG that man advantage. It's also going to give them the map control that they were looking for over on that north side. And they've done so in the first half of the round. Good for Souffle. Stand up in there, and now they've got to hope that the smoke can at least keep Luna in place. It's not going to do so. In fact, they're going to try and swing out. Luna goes massive with a double kill and makes it out of the smoke in time. I actually don't think the smoke kept him there. I think he stayed in the corner of Vault. That's unbelievable. ED with a 1v2 clutch on the cards here. He's had some pretty big moments in the game yesterday, but he's got to step up here. 20 seconds left, less than if you include the plant, the defuse. Luna manages to back away. That could have been an opportunity for ED, who continues to push, but Invictus close it out in one of the most convincing matches we have seen so far in this tournament. 7-2, Direwolves go down. Yeah, look, a good smoke player can be frustrating to play against. Interesting, though, that they've left the clash in. I'm actually quite surprised, but look, about to see this first engagement, and who's going to win out on it? It is Pika. That's a big pick on the Hysterics, and they just flood here, Manic. Oh, my lord.
Whoa, what is going on? I mean, what is going on? Direwolves have absolutely swarmed all over Invictus, who are yet to have a response. Where are the flank drones? This is the big question right now. Jordan could well sneak up behind the entirety of Direwolves. Just at the last second, Jackie Wu pulls away from Library Stairs, and now Jordan is left scrambling with only 5 seconds left to defuse. He's going to be in a fair amount of trouble, and there we go. It's not even going to make a difference. The plant on the double door, as well as across toward the left-hand side of this library hallway. Hysterics, though, finds Souffle in amongst all of the chaos. Shadow bites back, and now Direwolves have the advantage.
Just going strong here is Direwolves. Their time management in particular, really great. They're not really getting stalled out by a lot. They're getting set up beautifully. They're winning these gunfights just everywhere. And 2v4 now for IG. Joe, that was a great shot. He's going to have to try and hold this library, which he doesn't. And that means Jordan, he's going to have to try and hold it up for IG on this round.
Jordan has been able to do a couple of dirty things in the past. He's actually going to re-aggress up Library Stairs, which the big question is, The Direwolves expecting this. Have they been able to read into it? It looks like there's a player sitting back, and iG.I will find the kill as free as can be.
Final minute, I should say, and this is feeling a little bit better for iG at least. Still lost Hysterics, but they kind of slowed the bleeding a little bit. It's great control. Love that from Joe, but iG.I with the frag grenade raining down on Luna. Direwolves, they just can't be stopped at this stage.
Oh god, Souffle just rips the head off of Jordan. It's going to be a flawless round. Joe tries to leg it back in, but is not going to be allowed to do so. Direwolves looking so damn convincing. They done enough.
I think they're not set up quick enough here. I think this is going to be a very rough little execute. They might have to go for frags even. I think not in the hands of anybody at this stage. Don't think they have a very good entry. It's going to be rough.
Oh, Shadow though, he does manage to find one. They've got to be super cautious now. They're taking control of Office. Pika's actually been able to send it in a little bit deeper. Shuts down Joe and Luna as well. In turn, Hysterics does find something. It's Hysterics, it's Speakeasy, it's the two gunners for iG. They hold on, and only barely. The Aruni runs right into the crosshair. Fruitful doesn't actually connect. Jordan as well, even contemplating more of an aggressive push. Luna finds one. At least iG.I manages to trade, but I mean the trade is for Hysterics. Although he's been probably the most impactful player this series, he's not going to be needed in this round, I would dare say. A minute left.
Left indeed. iG certainly want to hold onto this man advantage, and I really love this angle from Speakeasy. Certainly could be one to catch their opponents off guard. And look, they're not going to have a whole lot of time for this vertical play as well. At least iG survived. If you're thinking about Direwolves here, he's going to be able to get that vert play. Finally, iG, they check out of there. They feel good about that, surely. They've got the man advantage. They've burnt a lot of time. It's going to create a bit of a chaotic end of round here for Direwolves.
That not hit. I was almost certain that C4 was going to connect. 25 seconds, and Direwolves slowly put themselves in the position. The man advantage in the hands of iG. The position in favor of iG. Jordan just misses an fortunate opportunity to shut down Osa coming down the staircase. Joe's going to be watching on the side by side now. Smoke comes out from Pika. iG gets shut down, and Souffle, Pika are all too soon to fall. Sledge, pretty detrimental. They can still make it back, and Joe's starting to.
Yeah, good to even that one out. They've still got half the round to play, and look, this positioning is that bad, honestly. Shadow also, I think that was trying to be a flank. Yeah, he's going back through kitchen now. Tried to get up there, couldn't quite make it. Now Jackie Wu has fallen. This is looking a lot better for iG, but the effect of Thunderbird, I don't know if anybody saw that. Shadow's been able to heal himself at least. That's certainly going to help a little bit.
iG now just making himself a nuisance. That nade could be perfectly put from Joe there. That's going to force him out, surely. How is iG not dead there? There was an opportunity. There we go. They just absolutely swarm around him. Shield break and all. Now Shadow left to pick up the pieces. Is there even going to be an opportunity for one singular kill? I couldn't imagine.
Couldn't imagine it. No, definitely not. For Shadow, this is going to be a tough ask here. 1 versus 4 in a post-planet situation. He's not even anywhere near the site. I think he's resided to the fact it ain't happening. So they're probably just having a bit of a timeout, bit of a chat, saying, guys, we've just lost 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
It starts in laughter, usually ends in tears, Raven, as my mother used to say. So, or it's all fun and games until someone gets hurt. I think we're starting to hurt Direwolves a bit. Shadow, not long for the world at all. And Hysterics trying to find a way in here. Luna too, they're going to have to try and find that opening kill. Jackie Wu, who was prone behind, goes down. Joe can't find the shots through the concussion. The confusion now being caused. Direwolves, this is devastating. Invictus collapse, and there's absolutely no hope for Direwolves. What a late round execute from iG.
Sure, they've taken a little bit of vertical control here, but it's really library is what they need, and without the manpower to kind of take that, it's going to be very tough and very awkward. I
don't see their way in. I don't see this path for them. If Luna can potentially find the kill onto Peter. Alleviates the pressure down below. They've still got to deal with the top floor and the first floor. Right now, they are giving themselves something to work with.
Themselves something. Certainly still an opening, but time, I think, is their biggest enemy right now. They are less than 40 seconds. That's certainly going to help.
Wow.
Joe just takes the face off Jackie Wu. And in this 3v3 scenario, iG, they could push themselves to match point with a win here.
Imagine. Invictus down 3-5 and managed to bring it back. Shadow is really trying to shut this down. In and over the top of the vault. Joe now has library control, but not for long. Shadow once again steps up. And in doing so, gives all... with one facing up toward Piano that was soufflé and taken down now. It could be to their detriment. How has he gotten away with that?
I think he slowed down a little bit with that stun, and unfortunately that did stop that follow-on pick. iG continuing to trade. Joe, though, he's been taken out as well. 3 versus 3. They're fighting hard for this vertical control. They've finally got it coming to this last minute. That does leave a lot of pressure now for Jackie Wu and ED. They are the last 2 players alive for Direwolves. The last 2 players to try and stop this one from at least going to OT if Direwolves are going to try and salvage the map.
I feel like with the positioning that both ED and Jackie Wu have, there's no particularly safe place to play. Like, there's not a default that would be safer than another. I feel like they're both in a position to try and re-aggress. Actually, one's on the staircase in the basement. I'm wrong. I thought he was actually just out on the inside of dining. But Invictus now pushing from what seems to be that upper side with 20 seconds left.
Going to be a very hectic little execute here. Jackie Wu and ED, a lot of pressure on their shoulders. Jackie's got a lot to cover here. He's getting pinched. It's just an absolute hidey hole kind of in the back of us. It's really going to make the rest of this push quite difficult for Invictus. And I really witnessed the death of a drone so we can get our sound back. It's usually what fixes the sound bug.
It's not going to happen. I feel like it's never going to happen. If Prod can hear us, just watch anyone on the drone. Literally anyone on a drone. But no, I think it's a little bit too more. There's too much on the line right now. You are literally talking about the fact that one of these teams are going to bow out of the tournament completely and one will push on to the grand final, and it may not be iG at this point because Jackie Wu is going to find another one very quickly. Done from ED to double down. Luna and Speakeasy. All that remains for Invictus.
Certainly is. And that just falls even further. Luna all on the shoulders. Not going to happen. Dire Wolves. They are on match point here, man.
That was the line that he was looking to hit. Dire Wolves keep getting away by the skin of their teeth, but not for much longer. Now with Pika incredibly low, this makes things difficult. We're getting into the minute mark, and now Invictus are starting to claw this back. OT looming large, but it's Jackie Wu who finds one and potential a second. Luna gets picked up by the Adrenal Surge.
iG, they're in a position that's looking good, but I tell you what, they lost the 3v1 in the last round, so I'm not feeling too confident still. They've also lost a lot of time here. 35 seconds on the board. Not much in either. This is going to be a scary little execute for iG.
So there's a player at the back of stock. Across toward mud. iG, do they have the openings they're looking for? They've got a little bit of the vertical control, but ED's been able to find one, find two! Jackie Wu shuts it down, and we are heading to a third map. Kafe will decide the fate for our grand finalists.
Unreal efforts from Direwolves. Absolute credit to them. The
coming that way. But I do say that, and on both teams, they have a higher attacker win percentage than they do defender. So are starting to take a little bit of control. Minute left, still a fair bit to do. Oh,
still a fair bit indeed, but yes, Hysterics has just lost that gunfight to Soufflé, so that's going to help. And Shadows found another. Direwolves continuing some of this momentum in towards Kafe here. Set themselves up fairly well now for an execute. Things have really started to shift. Got some really good progress, and iG haven't been able to throw much back.
Oh, goodness me. This is a very telling tale at this point. Invictus just going to continue to be taken down player by player. Only Joe to remain, and is pretty much welcomed by Shadow in the end. Wow.
Woo, that is the hard breach of the Hibana. But final minute here, I didn't actually quite catch it. I think he already started to use his utility, and now Shadow's evens that count anyway. This could be absolutely huge if they find another pick.
It is. Oh, he wasn't scoped in. That was the opportunity. But now they're going to be able to... Oh, no, Joe. Joe goes massive here, but Shadow goes, you know what? You can stay there. I'm going to take control of site. Speakeasy shuts down Pika, and all of a sudden, Shadow's going to go absolutely nuclear. Joe has single-handedly dismissed what Direwolves were trying to achieve, and now try you may, Shadow. You have to find 3 players consecutively. Oh, my word. That was only a whisker away from...
Jeez.
Joe! What is going on?
That was, you said, old info. This is a cheeky little play here from Luna. Tight angle through the train. And bang, you said, that is Pika off the board. So he hasn't made an impact with his Ash this round. 90 seconds in. Shadow walks into a death trap of Hysterics. This is a great little setup here from IG. A little bit of aggression off the main floor. Hysterics might be on for another one here. God. Just misses.
That would have been like typical classic Hysterics, wouldn't it? Just a cheap little SMG pop on the head.
And it sounds like he's burnt it, but less than 30 seconds. This looks like it's going to be a tough ask for Direwolves.
Certainly is, and with Speakeasy finding Jackie Will makes it even tougher. Souffle and ED. ED's had some pretty big clutches, but Hysterics is just stepping up time and time again for IG. This man has been an absolute hallmark for this team. Absolutely joking. That had to have been Pika repelling in them. That is so unfortunate for Direwolves. Well, Invictus don't need the first pick, but they might give another one. Back here! Oh, Souffle! Gives Hysterics a nice little buzz cut there. And now it's evened up 1 apiece in terms of the kills. Joe as well is caught in the backside. Luna's gone down. Things have erupted here for Invictus.
They have. Shadow, he just continues to progress. Jackie has been down, but he's going to be revived. And my word, I can't believe it's all on Jordan, but he's found a quick double. He may have made this doable.
1 nade on Shadow. As Jordan creeps back down the hallway, being hard watched by ED. Doesn't hit the shot just yet. Actually, it's ED that's up on the top line. Jordan just missing that shot, and it will not come around again. Direwolves with some really explosive mechanical
players really try to funnel through and get that control, and he shut it down beautifully. But before that, it was a fairly decent Direwolves attack. Oh, that's a jump out. Oh no, Manic!
That has to be one of the most unfortunate situations I've ever seen. How is that? Like, that's twice on 1 map that we've seen a team kill. They also did that back on Villa, if you remember. Like, Direwolves just hug a little too close to each other, don't they?
This is a write-off. I tell you what, just write the round off. I think just going for a 3-3. That's unfortunate. I mean, there's nothing worse than dying to a jump out spawn peak, but also to have a team kill come out of it. That is frustrating as heck. But look, Shadow and Souffle, they can try and make this 2v5 work. Shadow has been shut 11-2 so far in the map. Certainly could make something work here. They got a lot of time to potentially make something happen.
A lot of time, but with only 1 crosshair each, it's going to be very complicated. So many angles to try and contest with. It doesn't look like Invictus have any vertical control, but when you give opportunities like this, if you're Invictus, you've got to be really careful. 1 more kill and all of a sudden 2 versus 3 is so achievable. Still at the 2 versus 4, there's a lot of work for you to do. There's a lot of different angles for you to check as you walk in. But if you dwindle another kill here, I'm not going to say I believe, but I will certainly believe with Shadow going 12-2.
And look, 2 offside. I think there's 1 still playing around VIP, 1 in code check. So there is a chance. It is a chance. Souffle and Shadow may be able to get through to site. That yokai Not sure whether the stun was the play. No one playing off the push. The info was certainly helpful. It's going to be lacking now. Coming into this minute, Shadow wants to make the play. He gets tagged up on red. That's him down. And Luna, he finishes off the round and the half for IG. 3-3 it is. So they haven't taken that. There's no pressure on the white hallway. They're going to have to try and push through bar, and Luna's going to have to try and make something happen here on this cocktail window.
Anything's going to happen, though. That's the problem. 20 seconds left. They're going to have to try and force their way in. Speakeasy finds the first kill. He finds a double. What a quick transfer that is. There's trades left, right, and center. iG.I goes massive from behind the bar. Can he hold on for any longer? Has he allowed Soufflé to get into position? No. Soufflé is nowhere near being able to deny that plant. Do they have the flank drones? Do they know where he's coming from? Well, the bad thing for Soufflé is he has absolutely no idea where these players are. And bit by bit, that time is going to dwindle.
Certainly going to be a tough little 1v2 here for Soufflé. He's on low HP as well. I think with both these weapons, potentially just a one-shot. His time is now against him. He tries to push through Cocktail, tries to go the freezer route, tags up Hysterics. Could have been big, but yeah, unlucky for him, he misses. Really good recovery.
Joe, he's down and dusted.
It's not great. Shades of Oregon, I'll tell you what. Joe also been in some really hot IG today. And oh, that's sharp as well. At least they managed to find the trade. IG, they really are starting to be on the back foot. Bit odd from Soufflé, a little bit concerned whether he wanted to progress past the drone or not. And because of that hesitation, IG have managed to equalize this at 3-3. But I think the big damage here is they lost Joe, who's in a bit of form, LMG and the Finker, and they lost Jordan on that hard breach. So that's going to kind of shape things up just a little bit differently. That being said, for the reading dining, I don't think it's too bad for them. A little bit scary to me, Matty.
Always does, doesn't it?
Oh no,
Luna. Know what you want to do. You go blind for a couple of seconds there. Speakeasy doesn't win that engagement. Quick trades come out. Pika manages to come out on top of that one. Luna now in a 1 versus 2 has only found 1 kill this entire game. In the 8th round, could double the kills very quickly. Praying that hopefully the first peaks. Jackie Wu now is done. Pika sits back, hides, and prays that Luna runs out of time. This is going to be incredibly close. Pika has to hold on to the line. Oh my word, Luna played that really well, but cannot get it across the line in time. Nicely done for Direwolves to bounce back.
It's just very static, and Shadow, he's taken advantage. The flank is shut down by Hysterics at least. But time, it's been one of the biggest enemies of Invictus so far in their attack half. Starting to tick away as we get to this final 30 seconds.
Certainly feels like they're still stuck in a 30-second meta almost. Oh my god, Soufflé had the crosshair on Hysterics. We see the kill in the end, off cam regardless. Moving on, Jordan and Speakeasy now both coming up white corridor. Soufflé just backs away. Jordan though goes big with a kill. Speakeasy now could clutch this easily, but they decide it's better in numbers, it's better in the buddy system. And by the Lord,
look, certainly going to help IG's push coming into this last minute. ED is doing a great job burning time. Speakeasy trying to find this coat check position. It's going to be such a critical engagement here down in the VIP dining, and that's ED off the board. Progressing much better is IG, but Jackie Wu is trying to hold it down for Direwolves.
Felt like ED was somewhat of a lost cause. Not the hand to save the limb kind of thing, or the limb to save the body. Either way, they're going to force their way in. Luna finds the kill on the Jackie Wu, who was caught in coat. Pika waits for that player to peek in, but Joe goes around the corner and does one better. Soufflé could really pop off here, could really deny this plant. It is starting to be stuck. Does he have time? Does he have the position? There's a second on it, just manages to get off. Now he has to get into position. Now he has to try and force a fight. I don't think he's going to be able to cross. There's a player at the bottom of red. Invictus played that round to perfection.
Yeah, much better from Invictus. I really liked the decisive, really big one taking off Hysterics. That's the big vertical player. That's the whole purpose of this, right? You take Cocktail, you get Vert, and that really starts to squirm your on-side opponents. Now, Shadow re-aggressing, probably not the play there, but either way, IG have somehow flipped this one. They're losing time though. Again, 45 seconds to go.
Feels like 45 seconds is going to be enough unless Jackie Wu can go massive, unless he can go nuclear. He has been taken down. One player in toward Laundry now holds on for dear life. C4 rip. Now sounds like it is on the underside or it's being taken out done something of the sort. Jackie Wu, was that a run out he went for? What a cheeky little bugger he is.
May still be salvaged. I don't know. They might have time here. I don't think they're going to be able to get to him. Less than 20 seconds to go. Execute's coming. It looks like it's going to be reading side.
Oh, Speakeasy looked away for 1 second and then it was enough. Souffle with the shotgun holds up close and goes to the swing, but Joe confirms all three of the
iG, Speakeasy off the board is not great. And neither is losing Jordan. This is all in the first half of the round as well. Looks like it might have been a run out from below, so bad to worse at this stage for iG.
We're going to OT, folks. Strap yourselves in. Joe, Hysterics, and Luna, all that remains between SI and OT. Or an SI opportunity, I should say. It's definitely not going straight there. Xenox has noted that it's going to be a quick OT. Someone get this bloke out of here.
Of course.
Someone send this bloke back to... you know what? Just stay on the hosting desk, please.
Yeah, no, I don't think we are going to get a quick OT. That being said, we may not get OT. You know, this series has produced a whole lot of things for us, and certainly this wouldn't be too surprising to see this 3v5 come back for Invictus to progress forward in the bracket here. But once again, time is being their biggest enemy. They have not been able to get any control at all, really. I see Joe looks like he's maybe in train. They're doing a bit of a last-minute rotate, but coming into this 30 seconds...
Jeez.
I think they're shaping up for a reading push, it looks like. Kind of hard to tell.
Question mark?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. 20 seconds to decide this series. Is it OT or are we done and dusted here on Kafe? Hysterics looking to go shoulder and shoulder with Luna and Joe. They're going to push in, look to go for that plan. Can they deny it? Absolutely. Joe never had a chance in hell. And a C4 to close things out. A flawless round from Direwolves to force it.
Didn't actually point out until now. They've gone for reading and dying again. This is the third consecutive round that Direwolves will be defending reading in fireplace. They won one and lost one. So guess they felt like this was one of their strongest sides.
Well, you know what? You could convince me. Pika! Did you just go for a run out? It's like you're coming down the way here. What are we doing running, jumping out, bolting out of the white window? It now gives a huge opportunity. He was on the pulse as well. There's so much info to gain there. Oh, goodness me.
Yeah, probably not the play. And Shadow, ooh, he's been taken down now. He's been so influential for Direwolves. That's always going to be a big pick. Hysterics winning that one. Coming into the final minute of the round, once again, iG, they're kind of all set up in pretty similar as that they have been for a lot of this. It kind of favors Direwolves, but the fact that iG at least have a man advantage this time around, I think it's going to be really big for them. I'm not sure whether Hysterics is going to go over and at least try and get some vertical pressure on Cocktail before they shape up for the final part of this execute. Traditionally, that's what you would generally see, but this is a fairly decent attacking position to be in at this point.
Direwolves are a lot of things, but traditional they may not be. Holding on now for dear life. Big pick from Hysterics. Jordan was picked back up by the Adrenal Surge, and now in a 4 versus 2. Only 10 seconds left here. There's still a C4 onto Souffle. They have to try and play for this. Jackie Wu is sitting down on the bottom of the corridor, but Luna shutting him down pretty much. Shuts it out all completely. Jackie Wu, though, gives nades and flash galore. No, Jackie Wu goes blind, and it might be to his own detriment. Quick trades come in, and now it looks like Direwolves are taking control! Jordan and Luna shut down ED. Shadow falls as well. It's Jackie Wu and it's Souffle. They've got 3 to find. They've got 10 seconds left on the clock. And with Souffle done and dusted, so too are the Direwolves. iG fight tooth and nail and force themselves into the grand final against Cyclops.
What a fight. That was such a long series for iG. They really could have had it done and dusted at 2-0, but no, Direwolves really pushed them to Kafe, the third map in general, and then pushed them to OT. But iG